What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 4 of Bible Verse Breakdown. Now, before we get into the episode, know that I am relatively new to Christianity, so if I say something wrong or something that you disagree with, let me know in the comments down below. Now, the verse of the day is 1 John 4:20, which says, "If anyone says, 'I love God,' and yet hates his brother, he is a liar. Because the one who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen." Now, I'm assuming in this context, brother refers to anyone, whether they're Christian or not. And God is telling us to not hate each other because we can physically see each other, but we cannot see God. So God is indirectly asking us, how can you not love someone who you can see, like the people you're surrounded by, but you can love someone that you cannot see, like God? I had a hard time wrapping my head around this, even asked myself, so if God, who is perfect, expects us, who is imperfect, to love perfectly like him, and if we cannot love perfectly, he's claiming that we don't love God? How does that make any sense? Just seems super unfair. It's almost as if God is asking us to create this painting that is perfect, a perfect painting with imperfect paintbrushes, essentially. And it just seems impossible. So I figured I was missing something, and I was doing a little bit more research and going into the Bible a little bit more, but fortunately, the answer to this is on the first page. And it says, Genesis 1:27, which says, "God created humankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them." So God is saying he created us. And this implies that despite our flaws, despite our imperfections, we all carry a reflection of God within us. So when we love each other, we also love God because a part of God is within us. And I'm not saying that we are God, that we are directly connected to God because we are created in the image of him. So this verse is telling us that if you say you love God but hate your brother, that's impossible because a part of your brother or a part of God is within your brother. And this verse is also telling us that because we are created in the image of God, we can also love like God. We even get an example of how it's done through Jesus Christ coming down onto earth. Romans 5:8 says, "God demonstrates his own love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." So God, despite our flaws, despite our imperfections, loves us enough to die for us. So how can I, who's a sinner, refuse to love those who don't show me love back? It's super easy to show love to those who show love and kindness back to us. It would be hypocritical for me to say that, hey, I show righteous love, and I'm a righteous person, but I refuse to show love to those who don't show love to me first. Because the thing is, that is not righteous love. Righteous love is this unconditional love. That is the type of love that God shows us. This non-transactional love. And by transactional, I mean, hey, you show me love, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. Our ability to love others shouldn't be based off of their purity of heart, but rather the fact they're created in the image of God. And this reminds us to hate the sin and not the sinner. But just because we say hate the sin and not the sinner does not mean that we should excuse of or approve people's wrongdoings to us, but rather love them despite of it. This doesn't mean we should tolerate harmful actions, but to separate someone's inherent value as a human being from the mistakes they make. Because we are all created in the image of God, no matter how far we've fallen. Now, I could talk about hate the sin and not the sinner all day, but easier said than done. The question is, how can I not hate others who tried to do me wrong throughout my life? Yes, hate the sin, but not the sinner, but sometimes it's so hard to differentiate between the two. Some people may have talked behind your back, some people may have said something they may not have meant, but to see and hear it come from their mouth, it's almost as if the sin and the sinner are one. But we get 1 John 4:19, which says, "We love because he loved us first." So human beings love because God loved us first. And this verse reveals to us that our ability to love others, despite their sins against us, is impossible without God. We fail at relationships sometimes because we see relationships as, you love me, I'll love you. but God's love is unconditional. It's this love that shows no matter what. And God loved us even when we were undeserving of it. So instead of trying to rely on our own love to reflect on one another, we can use that love that God has shown us and then reflect it to one another. It's not about pretending like the pain others have caused us didn't happen or acting like sin doesn't exist, but acknowledging it and still choosing to reflect that love because God loved us first. Now, not only did God forgive us our sins, but he also died for our sins, this ultimate act of love, this sacrificial love. And even while on the cross, Christ said, Luke 23:34, "Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they're doing." So in this ultimate moment and event of suffering and injustice, Christ still chooses to show forgiveness and love over hatred. And this is a powerful example for us as humans. If Christ can show forgiveness and love when he's betrayed, mocked, and crucified, when it's unjustified, how can we as humans do a better job of showing that type of love to one another when we have made mistakes in the past? The cross is a reminder that love is not a feeling we get, but a choice we make. This conscious decision to extend the arm of grace when sometimes it's undeserving. And a lot of times we think that love needs to be earned, but Christ's sacrifice shows that love is freely given, whether it's deserving or not. And God even commands us to love in John 15:12-13, which says, Jesus Christ is speaking in this verse, by the way, John 15:12-13, "My commandment is this, to love one another just as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, that one lays down his life for his friends." Now, Christ didn't just lay down his life for his friends, but the entire world, including his enemies, because we all have a chance at a relationship with Christ. And this whole thing challenges us to love whether or not we feel comfortable doing it, or whether or not we even feel like it's fair to love this person because they may seem like it's undeserving. So next time it's difficult to show love to someone, when the sin and the sinner seem inseparable, when the action seems unforgivable, remember the cross. Christ didn't die for perfect people because there are no perfect people. He died for the whole world because we're in need of grace. And showing Christ's love to others is a reflection of what unconditional and non-transactional love and sacrificial love looks like, the true definition of what love is. And if Christ can show forgiveness that goes way up here, how can we not feel obligated to match that same amount of forgiveness? And I know it's not easy, but through God, it's still possible. All right, that's it for the end of the episode. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're new here, I do a gym edit at the end of each video showing my recovery process in the gym as I recover from my ACL surgery. So if you want to stay for that, great. Thank you so much. And if not, I'll see you guys in the next one.
I can't believe the night lay waste to all we'd given. But honestly, you've gotta know that this ain't living, but we could run. From Elysium. and let it burn, let it burn. You've gotta know that nothing lasts forever. I can't believe myself. I never thought that this would be our end, but it's nothing new. And my lover's honesty, I can push it back down if I have to. If you want me to, 'cause we can run. The stars that fall all for you. So tell me now, what's left to lose if we run?